Drowning makes a sound, but it's not the one you're imagining, not the splashing, not the screaming for help. The real sound of drowning is almost nothing at all, and by the end of this, you'll understand why that silence is the most important thing nobody ever told you. Stay with me, because what your body actually does in those final seconds is not what you think. Picture it. You're in the water, maybe the ocean, maybe a lake, maybe a pool a little deeper than you expected. 1 second, everything is fine, and then it isn't. A wave, a cramp, a moment of tiredness, and suddenly your mouth dips below the surface. This is where the movies have lied to you your entire life. In films, a drowning person thrashes. They wave their arms, they scream your name, they make a scene. Real drowning is the opposite. Real drowning is silent. There's a name for what actually happens. Scientists call it the instinctive drowning response. And once you understand it, you'll never look at water the same way again. Here's the first thing that happens. The moment your airway dips below the surface, a primal system takes over. Older than thought, older than language. Your body's only goal becomes keeping your mouth above water for one more breath. And to do that, it shuts down everything that wastes energy. Your arms, they press down instinctively on the water's surface, trying to lever your mouth up. They cannot wave for help. They physically cannot. The system that's keeping you alive has taken your arms hostage. Your voice? Gone. Breathing comes before speech. Always. You cannot scream because every molecule of air is being spent trying to stay alive. There is no breath left over to make a sound. So a drowning person can be 10 feet from safety, from other people, from their own family on the shore. And no one notices. Because to everyone watching, you just look like you're treading water, quietly, vertically, your head tilted back, eyes empty. This silent struggle lasts only 20 to 60 seconds. And then you slip under. Now it begins. The part happening inside you. You're underwater holding your breath. And here's something that will surprise you. That desperate, screaming urge to breathe, it is not caused by a lack of oxygen. It's caused by carbon dioxide. As you hold your breath, carbon dioxide builds up in your blood. And your brain has a sensor that monitors it obsessively. When that carbon dioxide climbs high enough, it triggers an alarm so violent, so total, that no amount of willpower can override it. It is one of the most powerful urges a human being can feel. This is the breaking point, and everyone has one. You can train it, delay it, fight it. But you cannot win. Eventually, against everything you want, your body forces you to inhale. But before that happens, your body plays one more card. The instant cold water hits your face, something ancient switches on. A reflex you share with seals, with dolphins, with diving whales. Scientists call it the mammalian dive reflex. Your heart rate drops. Your blood vessels tighten, pulling blood away from your arms and legs and hoarding it around your heart and brain. Your body is buying time, stretching your last oxygen as far as it will go, protecting the only thing that matters now, you. And underwater, that is the moment everything changes. Because the instant water touches the entrance of your lungs, your body does something almost unbelievable. Your vocal cords slam shut. A hard, involuntary spasm called a laryngospasm, sealing your airway tight to keep the water out. Think about what that means. At the exact moment you finally desperately need to breathe, your own body locks the door. It's not trying to kill you. It's the opposite. It is trying with everything it has to keep that water out of your lungs for just a few more seconds. Your body is still fighting for you, still betting that rescue might come. But here's the cruel part. That sealed airway means no air gets in either, and so the oxygen already in your blood starts to run out. Fast. And remember, your brain is the hungriest organ you have. 2% of your weight, burning 20% of your oxygen with almost no reserves. So as the oxygen drops, your brain begins, region by region, to go quiet. And this is where the terror starts to fade. This is the twist nobody expects. Because you'd assume the final moments of drowning are the most violent, the most full of panic. But survivors, the people pulled back from the very edge, describe something that has haunted researchers for decades. They describe peace. As the oxygen falls and the carbon dioxide that caused all that panic finally overwhelms the system, the fighting stops. The fear lifts. Many survivors report a strange, warm calm, a floating, a quiet. Some describe colors or a sense of dreaming or time slowing to almost nothing. The struggle that felt like it would last forever simply ends. And here is the strangest truth of all. The very thing that was trying to save you, that violent urge to breathe, that panic, that fight, that was the suffering. When it finally stops, what's left is quiet. The drowning brain, in its last lit moments, may not be in agony at all. The horror is in the fight, and the fight is the part that's trying to keep you alive. Let that land. The most peaceful part of drowning is the part where your body finally stops trying to save you. Now, I need to be honest with you because this is exactly where it gets misunderstood. That piece is not a doorway. It's not proof of anything beyond. It is biology. It is simply what a brain feels as the alarm systems that generate fear are starved of the oxygen they need to keep firing. The calm is the sound of the smoke detectors going silent, not because the fire is out, but because the batteries are finally dying. And this is why drowning is so uniquely dangerous. Because every instinct you have about it is wrong. You think it's loud. It's silent. You think you'd have time to call out. You won't. You think the danger is the panic. But the panic is the part still fighting for you. It's the calm that means time is almost up. This is why people drown at crowded beaches, in busy pools, surrounded by lifeguards and loved ones. Not because no one cared, but because drowning doesn't look like drowning. It looks like someone quietly bobbing in the water, maybe glancing toward shore, not making a sound. So now you know what to actually look for. The silence. The head low in the water, tilted back, the empty, glassy eyes, the arms pressing down, but never reaching up. The person who's gone vertical and quiet. The mouth at the waterline, opening and closing like they're trying to speak, but nothing comes out. That's it. That's what it looks like. And now that you've seen it once, you can never unsee it. Which means you might be the one person on that beach who actually notices. The one who knows that quiet is the emergency. Now pull back and think about what all of this really reveals about you. Because underneath the fear, there's something almost unbearably moving here. From the very first second your face touches the water, your body launches a war on your behalf that you never consciously chose. It takes your arms. It silences your voice. It locks your airway shut against your own desperate command to breathe. It rations your last oxygen to the one organ that is most you. Every single system working in a frantic, ancient, perfect sequence, all of it screaming the same thing. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. You spend your whole life feeling like a single person, a single will. But in the water, you discover you are something else. You are a body that loves you more fiercely than you will ever consciously know. A body that will fight for you long after your conscious mind has given up. That will keep betting on rescue, keep sealing the door, keep guarding the last breath, right up until the very end. Remember the silence I told you about at the start? Now you understand it. That silence isn't surrender. That silence is the sound of a body spending everything. Every reserve, every reflex, every last drop, trying to give you one more second of life. We fear drowning as one of the loneliest, most terrifying ways to go. And the danger is real, and the silence is deadly, and you should respect the water more after today than you ever did before. But you are never in those moments as alone as you feel. Something is with you in the dark water, fighting, refusing to quit. It's the same thing that's with you right now, watching this, beating, breathing, holding you together without a single word of thanks. The body you barely think about. The one that has never, for 1 second of your entire life, stopped trying to keep you here. Human.